What's up guys, duarktikhq with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Cosmic Crucible meta, and specifically we're going to talk about defense, because right now with the introduction of the full Superior Six, the defensive meta has shaken up quite a lot, and if you have access to the full Superior Six team, you can make a super powerful defense. Now, you can always beat the defense with a mirror match, but we are going to talk about the execution of the AI, which teams are going to be better on defense based on the AI performance, and also which teams are going to drain the efficiency of your enemies. And we have to remember that if you are mirror matching the matches, if you have matches that lose a lot of efficiency, well, the mirror match is not that good, so we need to keep that in mind. So this is the time for you to update your defense in case you want to catch up to the master's degree or even diamond, because right now we have all the diamonds locked behind the ranking of Cosmic Crucible. Yesterday some people were asking me where you're getting these diamonds from, and the diamonds are coming from the ranking on Cosmic Crucible, and right now this is the only source of diamonds, unless you have a lot of money to spend, which I don't recommend. So if you are interested in taking your characters to greater levels, even further beyond, this is the way to go. It's just to get in diamond and also masters in Cosmic Crucible, and once again your defense is going to be crucial when it comes to that. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about the Sinister Six and the Superior Six and why they are so important, and what you should do about both teams. So I'm going to talk because there is an argument where you can use two teams, right? There are two teams here that are very, very powerful. So for example, you can make a team with Vulture, Mysterio, and two other Superior Six, and that team shreds, absolutely shreds through Infinity Watch. But if you use that team, then your Superior Six, they get a little bit compromised if you try to put them on defense, because there are different ways where you can outspeed them and you can destroy them if you have powerful counters. I'm not going to mention those counters, but it's possible. So you have to decide, should I have two very strong teams for offense? Should I have one massive team for defense? And the other thing is, if I have these teams on offense, am I compromising my defense? But if I go for defense, does that also compromise my offense? And can you double layer, triple layer or defense in order to prevent some of these counters, to really make your enemy to dread his attacks? Yes, you probably can do that. So I'm going to give you a few of the examples that I have been using last week with my Superior Six. So for example, I have this team right here where it is with the Vulture. I don't have the team saved, but anyway, we are going to build the team, and I'm going to show you. So we're going to create, we're going to press Superior Sinister Six. Just Sinister Six is enough. There we go, Sinister Six, and with this team you can easily destroy the Infinity Watch, which is a team that completely drains your efficiency, right? Many people lose like 30 points or something with Infinity Watch. So we need Shocker, we need Vulture, we need Mysterio, and then we need another Superior Six. So you can bring Kraven, you can bring Lizard, you can bring Green Goblin, and you can bring Dr. Octopus. In my opinion, Kraven is the best option because he's the worst when it comes to AI being controlled. So it's better to have your Kraven on offense than having on defense, because he's going to apply ability block to one target, and you don't know which target is going to be because it doesn't have the smart AI to focus on one specific character. So if you want to destroy Infinity Watch, this is the team that you should use. And as you can see like use Dr. Octopus, Lizard, and Green Goblin Classic, and use them on another team on offense. Now, if you're trying to use this team on offense against the enemy's full Superior Six, well, you might not have a good case for that because you have to rely on Emma Frost and maybe even Cable, some other characters that do speed control in order to stop your enemies, and you might just not have enough juice in the tank. Then we have characters like Swarm, Lady Electro, and Rhino, which are also interesting together with these characters. But one character that is very surprising is the Green Goblin, the ultimate version of Green Goblin. And this is because he completely drains away the positive effects from your enemies. But once again, this is a character that you need to have at a decent size to be relevant, so I would not recommend it, but he can be very decent, very interesting for sure in some specific matches. So as you guys can see, there are a lot of ways where we can use our Superior Six and our Sinister Six in order to have huge teams on Cosmic Crucible. Now we're gonna jump into Cosmic Crucible defense, and I'm gonna tell you how can you choke your opponent so he's forced to mirror match and he has to put a risk on himself in order to win or to lose. So with the Cosmic Crucible bonuses, now Sinister Six get 200% more focus and 15% more barrier. So if you have a character like Lizard with the Fortified Eyes await, is going to get even more barrier and more drain, so keep that in mind. Then we also have that all characters on defense will have 20% max health and 10% more damage, and while with all these extra effects that you have on defense, that's going to be quite significant. Also, depending on the team speed, if the team is very, very fast, of course, you're going to benefit from that way more. Now, on the room 1, we still are going to recommend the Secret Defenders because we want to sack the Masters of Evil or the New Warriors from your opponents, right? Those are the two teams that can somewhat easily beat Secret Defenders, so we want to make sure that we are removing that possibility from your opponents. So if you are consuming one of those teams on room 1, you should also try to consume the other one with room 4 with what's the name? The Unlimited X-Men. So Unlimited X-Men, they can be beaten by Walking Hate, they can be beaten by the New Warriors, they can also be beaten by Masters of Evil, but if you are once again forcing to use one of those teams on room 1, then you are going to limit the options of your opponent on the other one, and that means that he needs to have both teams at a decent size in order to counter your both defenses as well. So no Masters of Evil ready and no new Warriors ready. So that means that the other rooms you can put some decent defenses as well, and they're gonna struggle. So then we have the room 5 where you can use some mutants. Some people have been using Eternals here, and Eternals is fine, but it's another team that is quite powerful, right? So if you're gonna bait those Eternals here, then you need to probably use Infinity Watch on 2 just to really consume the efficiency of your enemies. And once again, if you are considering to taking the Sinister Six for defense, that means your opponents will have to use a full team on room 6, or if they're going to use half team so can beat the Infinity Watch easily, that means they are not going to be able to clear the other team. So you have to put your opponent on this situation that they have to make decisions in order to take advantage of that. In my opinion, Infinity Watch is decent on room 2 because the Gamora and Nebula, they're going to get more barrier, they are going to get speed up as well. They already have speed up, but it's just going to be more often whenever they use their basic. And once again, we are trying to force our opponents to make mistakes. Then we have Darkhold on room number 3. This is the room number 6 from last season. The ultimates cost less cooldowns. Darkhold has a lot of resistance, so any negative effects that they have or that they will get will be greatly reduced. So this means a strong team for room 3. And then you have your different options of using, for example, Quicksilver here as well. That's going to bait the Tangle Web in order to beat this team. And that's a good thing because Tangle Web could be used on room 6 as well. And then once again we have the Superior Six on room 6. You have to use full Superior Six, otherwise they can easily be beaten by full Superior Six. So for example, if you have everyone except Lizard or everyone except Spider Slayer, you can use your own Superior Six and you can easily destroy them because, well, you go first, right? And this is how you have to play around with your defenses just to make sure that your enemies are really struggling. But as you can see, it's still mostly possible to beat these teams in case you have everything on offense, right? If you have your Superior Six on offense, if you have your Eternals on offense, if you have your New Warriors, if you have your Tangled Web, if you have literally everything on offense, you can still beat this team quite easily. And once again, the only problem you might have is with Room 1, in case you are not able to execute properly the Masters of Evil versus the Secret Defenders, or if you are facing one of those teams with a Super Scroll, that is going to mess up you as well. One thing that you should have in mind, and this was a mistake that I made this week, is having Super Scroll on Room 3, because if you have Super Scroll on Room 3, is always going to trigger Doctor Doom very fast, and you don't want that, because if you trigger Doctor Doom, well, you're just giving a free win to your opponents, and that's not something we want. Now, in terms of the rooms that you might do a little bit different from what we have on the screen, maybe room number 2, maybe you want to use Infinity Watch on offense to use them against the Dead Seed, and maybe you want to use something else on room 5, because Dead Seed is decent, but I mean, Eternals beats them with a very high efficiency, so that's something that you want to avoid, especially when you are trying to choke your opponents. So you might have to use some alternative version of these, maybe put some Dormammu with the Dead Seed or something like that in order to increase their survivability, and just try to make sure that your opponents are really gonna struggle. If you decide to put Apocalypse with Dead Seed, I mean, that will definitely stop the Eternals, but that will also compromise a little bit your offense. So it's up to you to decide if you don't really want to go full turtle mode and they have like the wall of China when it comes to Cosmic Crucible, or you just want to have all the tools that you need for offense, because you have to remember that right now we have the exhaust mechanic. I'm not sure if it's mentioned here. It's not mentioned here, but we have the exhaust mechanic, and that means that every time someone taps the room and you don't combat cancel, you can just use minions multiple times to burn the exhaust mechanic, and then on the third attack you probably are definitely gonna clear, right? At least we would expect that. So anyway, it's something that you have to decide for yourself, but once again, these are the teams that I feel are going to be the best when they are being controlled by the AI, and that will make the most solid defense that you can make right now. So Secret Defenders on 1, Infinity Watch or maybe something else on 2, maybe even Wakanda. Then we have Darkhold on 3, Unlimited on 4. The Unlimited is also decent here because they get the stealth and Gambit just slaps you with additional damage. On 5, Death Seed or maybe something else, we'll see, but definitely Superior Six on room number 6 because of the defense down whenever villain attacks, and the Green Goblin is a villain and he's gonna go very fast. So these are the teams that I would recommend you to use on defense if you really want to make your defense as high as possible, and if you want to try to get into Masters and finally get some of those free diamonds that all of us up here are getting. So that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Mouse Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.